Thanks for tuning in. We're Julie and Dana, two moms navigating marriage and motherhood. But this is definitely not your mom's podcast.
That sounds like we're going on OnlyFans and not a podcast. Two moms on a couch.
I'll do this for OnlyFans. Wait, you could actually do it, can't you?
I can.
Do that.
That's how we open?
Yeah.
With my legs behind my head?
Yes, let's do it.
Oh my God.
Please, it'll be fun.
I really want to go down to like a capsule wardrobe where they have like 5 shirts and 5 pants and that's it.
Yeah.
And you mix and match it all.
I've seen people do that, like the minimalist way,
Yeah.
but like maybe as I've gotten older, I could probably do that. Like I'm kind of set in my ways where I think like I like want the leggings that I always pull out the same leggings or
Like
kind
you're
of the
supposed
same.
to get like expensive versions of everything so it lasts.
I know that Callie does that and other people I do, they call like investment pieces, but I'm like, I like trendier, louder things. Like I like totally being like hippie one day, totally being goth one day, totally being punk one day. So I like to change it up too much. And I don't mind buying expensive things that I can like toss out or something.
I know.
But I guess like a few things. But even still, like let's say you get like a bomber jacket where it's like you spent like maybe $200 or $300 on, where it's like in a couple years.
Yeah, you know what I do though is the problem is like I always think that way too. Like, oh, I'm gonna want like an option.
Yeah.
And that's how I'll pack too. So like when we go away, I overpack all the time because I'm like I want all these options, and then I end up wearing like 3 outfits.
And it's always like one is like absolutely like a low key outfit. It's like leggings. I didn't have time to really try, and here was like a shirt.
I know.
But I always bring these dress up outfits.
I know, as if anything's gonna happen. Nothing ever happens.
I know. Well, I will say I was proud of myself that I wore my long like silk skirt.
True.
I brought that and I thought there's no way I'm going to wear this, but I'm like, I should have like one good outfit. And I actually did wear it because I ran out of clothes.
Yeah.
Because you don't have like a washer.
I am buying them some clothes for Christmas because I'm like, I'm buying it anyway, so I might as well throw it into their Christmas gifts.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
I know. I think I'm going to do a little bit like that for Freya and Styles as well, because poor Styles is like wearing like a 5T or something.
Oh my
Like all his shirts are like so small. They're like here and
Lily's
here.
uniform pants today, she walks out and they look like they're like capris. I'm like, this is embarrassing. Like,
no, I know. Styles
like,
did the same thing. He came out and they're like high waters. I was like, you can't wear those. He's like, no, Mom, it's fine. Because he's like, we're rushing. He's like, no, I want to leave like this. I'm like, you're not leaving like that. But what does it matter?
I know. I know.
I guess it's like a reflection on ourselves.
I kind of feel like that.
Yeah.
But like, whatever. I definitely am going to get them some clothes. What are you getting your kids for Christmas?
I don't know. We went on Amazon and made an Amazon list. So maybe a few things from there. Maybe a tumble track thingy.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I don't know. We're doing that cruise. So it's like, I'm trying to let them think like we're going to do more experiences and things. Because honestly, they didn't even have, Styles has 0 toys. Okay, so he's a 9-year-old boy.
This is the first year Lily has not 1 toy.
0 toys.
On his Amazon,
it is sad. On his Amazon, now I will say I'm proud of him that he has books on there. So on his Amazon list, he has books and then Pokemon cards. Don't even get me started with that. And like a blanket, pajamas, and I think that's it. But I'm like, oh man. So I think I'm gonna get some like, it is boring. And like when I was 9, it was still toys and stuff, right?
I think so. I can't really remember.
I kind of can't either. So maybe I'm just like judging it without remembering. But
I remember in like 5th grade getting my Razor scooter. Like that.
Oh
was
yeah,
my
that's
thing.
cool.
Like outdoor stuff.
Here's the
then
thing: they don't even have time. This is how I feel. Our kids, because they're in dance literally every day after school.
Yeah, their
and on
lives
the weekends,
are super scheduled.
Freya still doesn't even know how to ride a bike. I haven't had time to teach her how to ride a bike.
I think a lot of kids are going to have that problem. I think more kids today
like, they don't
know
have
how
to
to ride a bike.
Equilibrium to like climb trees.
Because they're not just out playing without parents. They're not just exploring and playing because obviously we're worried about them. So like we're on top of them all the time, which has its good and bad. And then also they're all scheduled. They all go. Think about it. When you were younger, I mean, you danced a lot, but like I feel like a lot of kids, and you have a unique experience, but a lot of kids, like I don't remember them having this many extracurriculars. Like we used to play after school.
Even with our extracurriculars, I still feel like the weekend was there, and even though maybe I had like dance on Saturdays, there was like Friday night,
you still had something,
and Sunday, and like breaks, and it wasn't as heavy as it is now.
This is why I want to sell everything and move into an RV and just travel and do nothing. I was saying to John the other day, I'm like, do you know how simple our lives could be? I was stressed out because I have to get a Secret Santa for dance. I have to get a Secret Santa for school. I have to send it an ornament. We have to donate gingerbread houses. I need to make sure that we're here and there and rehearsals and we're doing, and I was like, all of my stress comes from things that I put on myself.
Oh, absolutely.
All of it.
All of it.
I can get rid of it all tomorrow.
Me too. I know.
Why don't we? Why are we punishing
Did you get that Secret Santa like book exchange too? I'm like, wait, there's a book fair?
Yeah,
and
a book fair.
Now
with an e-wallet. I can't even send in money.
I don't know how to do that shit. Me too.
E-wallet.
I'm like on there trying to figure it. And then they have the Secret Santa book exchange. I'm like, that's cute, but I'm like, okay, there's that. And then presents for the teachers. Presents possibly for the dance teachers.
Presents. We have like 8 dance teachers this year. How am I supposed to get 8 dance teachers a present and spend under, I don't know, a few $100s?
When did this become a thing too? One day I woke up and it's like, here's $20 Venmo to the school teacher, assistant, the art teacher, whatever it is, and these teachers here, and then like to your coworkers as well, like, you know, like us, like dance instructors, we usually give like a little something, like. But I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I don't know if I'm capable of juggling life, and then,
I think if everyone turned around tomorrow and said, no more gifts, we're not exchanging gifts, I think everyone would be like, okay,
wait, that would be nice.
I know, but everyone would have to get on board, and you're gonna have those people who are like, still giving it, and then you feel guilty.
And I get that. I do like being able to give gifts. Like, I do love it that I can give their teachers, because I know, like, I feel like teachers are majorly underpaid, and I do appreciate them, and I want to give them that little thing. But then, I don't know. There just comes a point where it's like, I also need that money. Like, I could use that money for like self-care.
I gotta buy groceries.
Yeah, or whatever it is. Like, yeah, like clothes or like kids' clothes or whatever.
But wouldn't it be nice if like there wasn't the expectation of it around Christmas time?
Yeah.
That like maybe you do, you know, the end of the year gift, or throughout the year you give.
Well, I do that too.
Right. And
so it's like Valentine's, Christmas, and end of the year gifts. That's 3 times, I think.
Teachers Valentine's gifts?
Well, like a chocolate or something.
True.
Remember?
True.
No, they have that week where they're like, bring your a coffee or flowers. Remember? It was like, I don't know.
Well,
it's
that's
like
what we did last year. Like last year, the girls every once in a while would be like, "Can we go stop at Starbucks and get our teachers like coffees?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, sure." Like I would so much rather doing nice things throughout the year here and there.
Me too.
Than during like 1 month when we have 2 paychecks, have to like get everything for everyone.
It's also like the slowest season for Trevor and I too is winter.
Right.
I feel like it's death. Winter is coming. Death.
Well, yeah. You guys also have jobs that are dependent on
seasons.
Yeah, and people booking and things. Right?
I know.
Yeah.
I think
does your dog business do well though in December? I would think so.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I also go away. That's also the time that I leave.
You also take that
because it's the only time in our dance schedule that we have off like a good chunk.
I know. We also have to plan our traveling around.
10 clients I've missed because of the time frame from after Christmas to January 4th. 10 people have contacted me. Like
I missed 2 weddings winter break.
Yeah,
that's thousands of dollars.
I know, but we have to live too.
I know. But speaking of money, like I want to know what the average person spends on extracurriculars, because like is it normal? Like I've totaled it. We are near $20,000.
I've never totaled. I kind of don't want to know because it'll make me throw up.
Well, you can't be too far behind. You're probably slightly under that. Maybe you're like
no, I'm not sure, because like with Callie, we pay for like her gym membership, and she wants to do now like yoga. Or we did. She stopped the gym membership because like her semester changed, but she's like, I want to do yoga classes. So it hasn't always been crazy, but maybe a couple years ago or whatever. That's not a major extracurricular, but I guess that's an added something, or we always feel like we should do.
Yeah.
If we're spending this much for these kids, like
I totally get
we're
that.
Trying to balance it out in another way, like better Christmas gifts, like So back to Christmas gifts, like for her stuff's like expensive. She likes expensive things. She's an investment. Older. I like that about her actually, though. Yeah. She has like a good eye for like design and style, and I think that's her calling. But I don't know what she's gonna do. But her stuff is like for a pair of pajamas, it's like $100 and something. Like, yeah, no. But then sometimes she'll say, I want these Target socks or whatever. Yeah. Like, she balances it out well, but it's also like I feel like I need to spend more on her because she is off at college, and I don't know. We're not
your
paying
day-to-day
for
spending
all.
Is
yeah,
more
exactly. Like we just went to the ice thing and everything. She wasn't with us. Like I feel like we spent a lot on them for that, so I want to make sure we're taking care of her. Better in other ways, but that's also
it's hard. I feel like though at that age you are expensive because you don't have the same priorities yet.
Yeah.
Like I think that's normal. Like I liked really nice things too at 19 years old.
Well, you wanted someone to give you that $100 gift card to Victoria's Secrets, and you were or whatever.
Okay,
like,
cool.
I can buy pretty underwear.
Right.
And like that underwear lasts you a year until you're and like you always like counted on that one aunt that always sends you $20 in an envelope in the Christmas card, and you're like, yay! Like even if it was only $20, but it was like, hello, that's cash. I need that.
I need that now.
Me
not
too.
that. I need the aunt to send me $50.
We need the sugar daddies.
Sugar daddy.
Yeah.
We need to figure out how to get those.
I don't know. Like so. I feel like there's all kinds of apps. Like, why aren't we doing it? And like, what do we have to do?
Do you think there's really like men sitting around wanting to give women money to not do much?
Yes, I think there are givers. I think there's some people's like kinks that, well, for instance, I like know for a fact there's like a friend of a friend or a friend or something that I can't remember how I found out this information, but like she has a sugar daddy and he'll just send her like stuff on Amazon. Like, I think this dress was cute. Nothing crazy. So I think this is the problem. If you're looking for a sugar daddy, it's going to buy you a Chanel purse. That's a little much, but like a cute outfit on Amazon or like go to get your toenails and all you got to do is send a picture of your toes done.
I would send so many pictures.
Yeah. Like someone wanted a tattoo because they're into tattoos on me. I'd like film it all and send it and stuff. Because there's people with kinks of like tattoos and stuff. Like,
yeah. No, I
not kinks. Doesn't even have to be kinks. Just someone that wants to be a giver. Wants to,
yeah. And like have someone to like talk to, I guess.
Yes. I think ultimately
they
just
so
want
good
to
be true. Like,
well,
I want to be given to. Maybe that's my kink.
Me too. Wait, is that your love language? Gifts.
I am. That is my love language. And I hate it because I think it makes me sound.
I know it's brave of you to say. It makes you sound like greedy or something.
It makes me sound greedy, but it's not about how much money.
Right.
It's about the fact that
like
that
thoughtfulness,
is. Maybe? Yes. Like the I thought of you and I picked something up. It could be something as simple at the store that like you saw my favorite whatever or, you know, when you picked it up. Like it could be small. It could be a piece of candy or flowers or whatever.
It is nice. You're right. Like I will say the times that like Trevor has brought flowers or even like just a card. Like, hey, I was thinking of you. You do so much for the family. Like, even him just saying you do so much for the family and I know how hard you work, even though I'm not the breadwinner, the full-time job person.
Right.
Like makes me want to cry. Like, thank you for it's so simple. It's something like that.
But I think a card would be more like active service maybe or like.
It is?
I don't know.
Doing the dishes is like it.
True, that's an extra. I feel like
do you know how much cards are these days?
True.
They're like fucking $5 or something.
I can't even. I always go for the I go to the dollar store and never buy a card at like Target or anything.
Me too. I go to the dollar store. I go to the 99-cent section.
I used to be good. I would buy a bunch of them and I'd keep them in the house.
So I'm really bad. I don't buy cards anymore.
But they're dumb.
Yeah.
Another thing we should just get rid of.
It's wastage on paper and it goes right in. I literally got a Christmas card today and I read it. I was like, that's nice. And I threw it away.
Yeah.
Like,
and if you're going to write something nice, then just like write a letter.
Or text it. Or FaceTime. Or send a video like of you saying, like, just thought about you. That's what we should probably do. But then we're on our phones again and I don't know.
I think there's something about writing it.
I know.
That's cute.
Well, but who doesn't want to get something in the mail?
Yeah. My kids love that.
I know.
Yeah, I definitely.
Why aren't we going back to that?
Want gifts.
That's what we should do for
Or
Christmas.
like I also am really into surprises. I find surprises like one of the most romantic gestures that you can do. Like if I was to plan
small to big.
Okay, so like small would just be like what I just said. You came home with something.
You're like, I saw this.
I came home to like flowers. Yeah, something like that. Where big, like if I could think of like one of the most romantic gestures would be either like a date night planned from start to finish where I don't have to think about a thing.
Yep.
Every single part of it is a surprise.
Yes, I would 100% agree on that.
Yeah,
like I think
one Mother's Day,
every person's wish is like.
I feel like some people don't like that. They like to know what they're doing.
Yes. Okay. Well, you're probably about to say about like a trip. I need to know that.
Right. Like I was going to say like on a big scale, like if something ever, like if we just had like spare money and John was like, I'm going to do a trip. Like, don't tell me where we're going. Just tell me what to pack and get me on a plane. Like, I think that would be like the coolest thing ever. That would make me so excited. But
I don't know if I like that. I don't like to be surprised that way.
I would love it. Love it.
Because I guess I didn't think I was a control freak, but I think I need to know what I want to bring. And like prepare my mind kind of for like, I don't know what I need to prepare.
I don't need to prepare my mind. My mind is just like wherever we are.
The dinner thing is on point though. And I actually would like this. I think I have to be careful what I say, but like some people that don't like that kind of like the man picks this out for you or whatever. Like I also would think it's hot if you like laid out a dress and like the earrings and everything and be like, I love when you wear these heels because they're sexy and I love it when you wear this dress. And it's also maybe a dress that like you don't always feel like comfortable in because I don't know, whatever, like this part of your skin shows or like you don't like the way your arm looks. But like if they found it to be sexy or whatever and hot, like you're like, okay. Like you put it on because you know how many times like you file through your closet and you're like, I don't feel like I'm bloated, I have my period. Like that's not, or I'm 10 pounds heavier right now or whatever. Like I don't want that. And you always go back to the same outfit that you feel comfortable in. But when someone else picks it for you and they like write a note and it's like, I specifically want to see this because I think this looks good. It's like the heels, the earrings or whatever. But then would that like make them like, I don't know, like feminize them in a way like where like does that take away some of their like hotness or primalness? I don't know, but I love it. I would love that. I don't care. Like be ready at 7, wear this and we're going. I'd be like, Okay.
I know. See, we were made for sugar daddies. Send me the outfit.
I don't mind a $20 dress. Send it to me. Speaking of $20 dresses, do you remember like the shoes the high heels you would wear? They were like $20, like $19.99. For that reason, I think my feet are ruined. Walking around in cheap ass heels and dancing all night and walking to my car and stuff like hours and hours. I think my feet are like
the newer generations don't even wear heels. It's amazing. Like if you go out to a bar, people don't dress up anymore. It's like they wear sneakers.
They wear their Nikes.
Yeah. Or like those big, like what we used to call like dad shoes, like those clunky white sneakers.
Oh yeah, really?
Like the New Balances and stuff. Yeah, like that's kind of in. And I find it so funny because my whole life was lived in discomfort.
I know.
For looks. Like the tightest of tight.
Maybe that's a good thing that's happened.
I do think it's cool.
Yeah.
I would have loved to be at a bar in my sneakers. But also, do you think you could like hook up with someone and feel hot with like your like chunky shoes on? Like, ooh.
I know. And then when you take it off, like your socks and your feet smell. At least there's airflow in like a stiletto.
True. You might have lost some toenails, but
you might have lost some toenails, and it was a good protection.
Oh,
like stab in the eye, like you're at the parking lot. You've got like a weapon. Yeah. I think you could do that with your rubbery like white shoe.
My friend, one of her birthdays though, we had heels on, and then when you're drunk, walking is really hard. She already couldn't walk in heels. She looked like a toddler, like that was just learning to walk. And she was crossing the city, like we were in New York City, and she was crossing the street, and she broke her ankle halfway through, and John had to like pick her up and carry her for the rest of the night. Luckily, she was like 80 pounds. She was so tiny.
She like hobbled around.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Oh, that sucks.
This is the same friend who, when we were in the Bahamas and we snuck off the cruise ship,
that collapsed, and you were the only one that went back for her.
She collapsed, and she was like, "I'm too tired to walk," as these guys are chasing us, telling us all the bad things they're gonna do to us. And awful. She like wouldn't move, and I had to like pick her. Like I'm telling you, I've had to pick this girl up multiple times.
I would say that I was always that like lightweight drunk, but I wasn't that bad. There's a small part of me that didn't let myself get like blackout drunk.
Oh no.
But I definitely got
always blackout drunk.
Belligerent.
I mean, we all had our moments of blackout drunk, but she was always blackout drunk. Like one time we were at a casino and she fell asleep in between slot machines, and she was like, again, she was tiny. Like she looked young, she was tiny. And one of the staff like came up to me and this other girl and was like, "You need to get your baby out of here."
Baby. Baby. Oh my gosh, I think I'd have a complex if people thought I was baby.
Yeah, they thought she was our kid because she was like huddled. She's already tiny, and she was like huddled in and like sleeping in between the slot machines. And they thought we like brought our child there.
That's hilarious. That's something you should have gotten on film. Whenever we didn't have our phones like that.
That's when I used to carry around like my hot pink digital camera everywhere.
Wait, can we talk about, you probably didn't go through pagers. Did you ever go through pagers?
Never.
I was going to say, like, what was the fucking use of them?
I don't know.
Okay, so like I think a phone number would come through, and then you'd have to like go hunt for like a fucking pay phone at a gas station or something, because we didn't have cell phones. So, like, whose idea was it to come up with a pager and like be cool?
I guess it's better than nothing. Like it was a way to.
It was like anxiety. Like a number came in, someone needed to get a hold of you, but you're like on a hunt for like a phone. It's like there was no phones.
I know John said his mom used to use it with his sister, and she would type. You were able to like type something.
Yeah, with the numbers.
Right. Like, so she used to use like whatever their code was.
Yeah. Well,
and that would be like, "This is mom. You need to call me," kind of thing.
Okay, so then you have to walk around with that anxiety for an hour, waiting to your next destination for a phone.
It didn't last long, right? Pagers weren't around that long.
No. I think mine went to like a drug dealer or something. Like I made a trade or something. I don't know. All I know is I had one and it was gone, and I gave it to someone like for something.
Yeah, no, I remember in elementary school, my parents had cell phones already, like those flip phones that were just like a green and black screen, but like phones.
Yeah.
And
maybe there were phones while pagers were around. I don't know. I don't really.
I definitely think pagers.
I know it was the last one to get a cell phone.
Maybe it was like 80s until early 90s, because that would make sense.
Yeah, I guess so. I think I was in 10th grade when I had a pager.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm 42.
Seems like old to have a pager, though. I feel
maybe,
like what year would that have been?
I don't know. I can't do math.
What year were you?
All I know is that like when all my friends had a cell phone, I was the last one. It was one of those things that I didn't want to be like everyone else.
Okay.
So I was like, no, I'm not dealing with
You were being cool with your pager?
No, I didn't have a pager. I was going to say it lasted a year.
Oh.
But I had my little answering machine. And I feel like we need to bring back the answering machine. Like when you walk in the door and you press it and people talk. Because I would come home from like whatever, and like I'd go through all my answering machines. I'd be my friends, and they would like, when you call, what's it called when you call someone and you do like prank calling, they would do like prank machine, like messages. They'd be like, when Destiny's Child's out, they'd be like, say my name when no one is around you. Like, so I'd play that and make me laugh, and they'd be like, bitch, get a cell phone. We're over at so-and-so's house. Like, so I was always behind. Like, I was always like 2 hours away from meeting people and stuff, because like I would be getting the messages late, but I loved them. They're great.
I don't think I even really,
because you know what? I don't want to listen to my messages on my cell phone, because I'm bombarded with social media, text messages. And then some people do like the voice text messages. And then you are going to call me and leave a voice message?
What's going to be the thing in like 15 years? Like, what are they going to say in 15 years?
It's
like,
going to be in our skin, and it's going to pop up in our skin. There's going to be a screen or something here. No. There's going to be like glasses that like pops up in your eye or something.
Man, it's crazy.
Well, there's just be holograms, like
that's
what
I was gonna say. Yes,
like some weird thing that you just
the
wear
girls
and
always
it
watch that
holograms
show
up.
Henry Danger. Have your kids ever seen it?
Yes, I've
whatever.
heard of it,
it's
but
like
I don't watch it.
I think it's older, but like they always watch it on Netflix, and he has this watch and like holograms pop up, and it's like them talking live in like a hologram, and I'm like, that is so weird.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that, but then no one likes technological changes. I don't know. I just want to be out with nature with like no phones.
So we sell everything and we move into the RVs. It all comes back to that. You just need to accept it and let it happen.
Did you know last night was a full moon in something? And I went out and I wrote all my affirmations, and then I lit it on fire and I put it in my nice candle, and now my nice candle's all fucked with like ashes and the wax all melted together. But I did it.
I didn't even know that was a thing to do.
Oh yeah, it's on TikTok. Some girl came up with it. She's like, this is what you need to do on new moon.
This is how you talk to your people?
Yeah, well, it's more like I release anything blocking me in the way of.
So why are you writing your affirmations? Shouldn't you be writing things
that are
blocking
not
you?
affirmations, like writing the things that I want to change or get better at, or like closure or whatever. Like I release all financial burdens or things that are not getting me to my financial freedom, or just the wording. I kind of copied what she wrote, but reworded it for myself. I release like unnecessary anxiety about X, Y, and Z. I release anything blocking me from being my highest self or whatever. And so I did the full moon ritual. I feel like a badass, like a witchy poo.
I mean, I don't do that, but I always...
Well, it's my first time kind of doing it in a long time.
Well,
so
I do believe in like manifesting in a way. Like,
yeah, me too.
So when I was little, I used to think I was psychic.
Yeah.
Because I would think of things I wanted to happen. Like it always just like came to, like I would like think of things I wanted to happen, but then they would happen and I'd be like, wow, did I like predict that? But actually I think I just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like when I think about something hard enough.
Yes.
Not that it happens. I almost feel like I make it happen then.
Yes.
So it's not just like university. It's like I focus on it. I hyper focus on it. I think about it. I play out scenes in my head. I'm constantly picturing how I feel when it happens. And then I feel like it happens. And I'm like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
Absolutely. I think
Lucky girl syndrome.
Lucky girl syndrome? I feel like I'm lucky too.
I think
if you already imagine it happening, like let's say I wanted to go to like Fiji or something. And every day I sort of date, I already see myself in Fiji.
Yeah.
And relaxing.
Yeah.
And doing whatever you do in Fiji. And I already see myself traveling a plane. If I daydream about this for like a good 2 or 3 years, or maybe even a year or 6 months, I know it will happen.
Yeah, same.
It's what you have to already imagine it's happening though.
And I daydream very realistically. I think because I was an only child and super lonely, like I used to like always think about things really deeply, and I really like imagine things. Like when I say I picture it, like I can. Like close your eyes. Like when like think of an apple. Do you see the actual apple?
I see the apple. I have a great imagination.
Yeah.
Remember,
like,
I have sex
only see
illusions or whatever.
We know. We know about your sex illusions. We'll get back into that. Like Lily says, she just sees a shadow.
Oh, Trevor says he's not very good at it either. Like it takes long. Like for people, it does. Like to use their imagination. Like
I don't think some people can. I'm serious. I think like it's.
Do you think that's the fault of the phone?
No, I think some people. I think that's always been a thing. I think some people.
No, but the phone kind of like gives you something to always look at. I don't think anybody sits there bored anymore.
So I agree that people.
I'm not saying the phone's a bad thing. I like it for certain things. But like even my kids in the car.
Yeah, I know.
Because when they're little, I got them kind of used to an iPad. They will just be like, "What are we supposed to do?" I'm like, "Stare out the fucking window."
John's like, "Look at the trees." That's what I used to do.
That's what I say. I go look at the trees.
I was like, "The trees."
Like look at the different cars. I look at the colors. I imagine who's in the car, what they're like, what their job is, what they're stressing for, where are they going, how they're living their lives. Or like I'll look at all the different houses, like the sizes, the shapes, or I'd look at the ponds and I'd always think, oh, is there a gator in there? Like,
so I agree that kids don't daydream as much and imagination play or whatever.
Yeah, well, they have other ways of it through.
But I think as far as I'm just talking visuals. If you're a person that, I think you're either a person that can actually visualize detail when you close your eyes and see something, or I think you're a person that can only see shadows. Like, you know what you're looking at.
I'm going to start asking people this. Yeah. This is going to be my question.
I'm telling you.
Close your eyes.
Close your eyes and picture an apple.
Picture an apple. I'm like, do you see shadows?
Apple with the pores and the texture.
And the stem and like the lighting and the waxiness.
Or do you just know you're looking at an apple, so you just think you are? Or do you just see a shadow? Or like, they're all different.
I can't believe people can't see an apple though.
What?
I can't believe people can't see an apple.
Yeah. I was at Thanksgiving. I asked everyone to do that. And like 2 people said they could see the apple like to a T. Like John's mom was like, I can even see where it's like bruised, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then Lily said she could only see a shadow. A few other people said they see a shadow. Some people said they don't see anything. They just know that they're supposed to be picturing an apple.
That's weird.
I know.
Speaking of family, like was Thanksgiving like exciting? Like, do you ever get to a point where you're like sitting there and you're like, why do we do this? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love being like around family and having even like the Hallmark holidays. I think gives you an excuse to do something or whatever, like excuse to like get cutesy and come up with themes and stuff. But like, I don't know. There was like a point after we all ate and everyone was like lounging around, flipping on their phone. And like, it's like we're all forced to be together and like be on our phone, but forced to be together and forced to sit there and be miserable with a full belly. And I kind of just don't get the whole point.
You'd rather just like sit and poop and sleep and take a bath?
Yeah, I guess so. Like, but I don't understand why we eat so much to make ourselves feel gross.
Well, I mean, I didn't. I mean, I think you can or you don't. I get it. It's all about food. Thanksgiving's like just food. Like there's nothing else to it. Like Christmas, you have gifts. Easter, you're going on an egg hunt. Like Thanksgiving's like really just about food.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will say since we moved, it's been like a really freeing feeling.
Okay.
Because when we lived up in New York, again, I enjoyed seeing all of our family and stuff, but our holidays felt like they weren't ours anymore.
Yes.
Like we never got to just enjoy our Christmas or enjoy our Thanksgiving because we had 4 houses to visit. There was a point where we'd go to my parents' house, my grandma's house, our cousin's house, and this like, and then same with like weekends. Like we'd be going to distant families, like graduation party, or because everyone on Long Island kind of stayed in Long Island for the most part.
Once again, like we're talking about like money and stuff, it's like, you know that you have to bring a dessert or wine, or you had to get, put yourself together in a way, or like you're bringing kids, you want to bring, it seems like another, like, why do we do that? It's like a society, but I guess what you're saying that I guess you can pick and choose. It's
hard to pick and choose when you live there though. Like, I will say like, it was very much like frowned upon if you didn't go to these things. Where like when we moved, it was like we really get to pick and choose now. Like if something's very important to us,
like Christmas,
close
we don't have anybody here, so it's kind of nice. Like we go the day after Christmas to my parents, and we do everything afterwards. But I will say it is nice. Not that I don't want to see my family. I think this is going to be
like our last magical Christmas. I'm trying to do all the things.
Oh, because of Santa and stuff?
Yeah, and like Lily. I just think they're getting older. They already don't have toys on their list. Like
I know my kids are asking me the same thing. Oh, that's another. Oh wait, what were you? Oh yeah, like. About the gift giving and like birthdays, so for a while there when my kids were younger, I just said like, don't bring gifts, just come, because I invite like their entire classroom or whatever. I'm like, there's like 20 kids. And I remember when my kids were younger, I just didn't want to stop by Walmart or Target or Amazon and have to buy a $20 gift and show up. Like, so I just said like, let's not do gifts, because I already knew they were going to get a bunch from like my family. Yeah. And I just didn't need a lot.
There's a lot of shit. Like they have a lot of shit.
If I go upstairs right now, there is so much bullshit. And you know what's weird is that like we all try to organize and like tuck it away in a shelf, but they don't see that shit.
Right.
Okay. And then we don't, at least my family and my kids are with our life, and I know I chose that, but like they don't ever have the time to just sit down and like pull everything out and be like, oh, I even forgot I had this, or da-da-da-da. If I tell them they're like bored, I'm like, well, go, you have a billion toys. What's a better way to say, you have so many toys upstairs, when your kid says, I have bored, go upstairs and play with them? Because I've said that like a broken record player. And then I have said too, like, okay, fine, I'm just going to donate them all to a kid that wants them. And then they all go, no, like that. But then they still won't go up there and rediscover and sit. I just feel like kids don't know how to sit and play anymore unless they're 5 and under. Because once they reach 6, 7, they like their iPads. I don't blame them. We all kind of need downtime from their busy days. And then after that, they usually get a phone. And I don't feel like they sit and play anymore.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a craft project.
Right.
Or like, sometimes playing basketball or something. But even then, like I would play outside for hours. Like they will do that for 30 minutes, come in and say, I'm bored. And don't get me started about the snacks. Every hour it's a snack. I don't remember
I'm hungry.
I mean, I remember eating junk food at times, but I don't remember this snack after school, snack during dance in between your dance classes, snack when a friend comes over. I mean, I guess I remember eating junk food. I just feel like it's snacks all the time.
Constant. Yeah.
And there comes that processed food shit that I don't feel like we had that much.
That's why we started gifting like the spaces in our house rather than.
Oh, it's fun.
I mean, we still do toys, but like when we were thinking about it, I always, so for a while there, we didn't do birthday parties. Like my girls only have had like 2 birthday parties, and it's only been the last 2 that you guys have been to.
Oh, tell me about that. I didn't know that.
We never did birthday parties.
We
did a first birthday party in our backyard. And then for birthday 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we did, we'd go on a vacation, mini vacation, like a little like one nighter somewhere or a weekend getaway, a Great Wolf Lodge. We went to Hershey Park once. That's or fun. Dutch Wonderland or whatever it was.
I kind of like that too.
Yeah, and like I loved that. And like for Lily's first birthday, I asked everyone to not bring a gift, like in a traditional sense. I didn't actually say no gift. I shouldn't say that. I said instead of like a toy or clothes or things, because we had so much of it, I asked for experience gifts. So like memberships. Yeah. Like someone got us a membership to the aquarium.
Oh, that's cool.
Someone put in a fund for the Mommy and Me program I was doing.
That's so smart.
Yeah, like the farm, like a gift card to like the farm. Things that we could do. And I was home with her a lot. So like I was constantly doing things. And I feel like I had the best time with that.
Honestly, like from preschool under, you're always fucking looking for somewhere. Like the next
it's the best
bounce
thing.
house place, or the next creative learning set. What is that place that's in Tanger too?
Yeah, like those little museums and stuff.
Yeah, like where they have like
museum.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. Like,
oh, it's the best gift you can
give.
That
is the best gift you can give, because you know you're trying to tire those bitches out,
and they're gonna play with it, and they're gonna have like those memories. And I always tried to do that. And I actually used to give my kid the choice. Like I would be like, do you want a birthday party or do you want to go to whatever? And almost always they picked that other thing.
But do you think they ever like missed a traditional birthday party though?
Well, now I've done a couple for them. So like if they ask for it,
I think there's something to be said about like having a cake and like people wishing your birthday
with
and
family.
stuff.
like they still got their cake and their little we would be with family. We would do a cake and we would do like some presents, but it wasn't with like friends and stuff. I just felt like I could spend. I mean, in New York, it would be. We did one gymnastics birthday party. It cost us over $1,200.
So I keep doing them in my backyard. But even with my backyard, the bounce
expensive.
house, the face painter, the food that I buy, the little
easily you could do a hotel room for a night, right?
Yeah,
easily. And they'll get 2 days of doing something rather than 3 hours.
Oh yeah, I never thought about it in hours.
Like 3 hours and the party's done. 4 hours, like party's done.
I kind of like that though. That's all I can handle with people. I'm like,
but it's not with people. So like that's why we loved doing the little vacation instead, because
but they want to be with, when they get old, they want to be with their friends.
It's true.
I do get from like under that part where they've like met their little like friend group or whatever, like their best friend in school.
Like I wasn't gonna invite all these kids from a class that I didn't know.
That's true. When I reflect back, I look at my backyard and I'm like, they just like ran around and like it was a fucking shit show, and then I had to clean it all up.
Yeah. And like like I said, we've had fun birthday parties. I enjoy throwing them. The kids love it. Like, I go all out with it when I do it. But like, I definitely feel like, especially under that age of like 7, when you don't really know these parents and the kids are just come and go kids that they probably, like there were so many kids that they never spoke to again. Like after that year of their birthday party, like it's just like,
sometimes I'll like text someone. I'm like, oh shit, I just texted like, instead of Hunter, like it's like Hunter, like from kindergarten, like 4 years ago. And they're like, hi, sorry, wrong number. I'm like, oh shit. Like I've got all these like random people on my phone from texting from birthday parties.
Yeah. We should do a disclaimer quick. If you have kids watching, to shut it off right now.
Oh, yeah. But speaking of like that Christmas spirit and stuff, like there was a time where I contemplated whether I was going to do Santa, like as a whole.
I think that that's something that a lot of parents contemplate. And I think that's something
I looked it up and I felt not supported in saying like, I don't like and lying is kind of intense, but I don't like lying about this make-believe thing. Like we teach our kids like not to lie and stuff. And so I've never really said Santa as like him or anything. I've always said this.
Okay, continue.
Yeah. I always say like the spirit of Santa. Like I've always said that's the spirit of Santa, because like obviously they see Santa on like a fire truck coming by in our neighborhood, or they see him at the mall and they're like, is that real Santa? I'm like, no, that is someone dressed up as Santa. But it's the idea of like the spirit of the holidays and Santa, like, because I kind of I have kind of alluded to the fact that it's more of like, he doesn't exist in like this form, right? He's just like, it's spirit, like it's magical.
Yeah.
Is that any better? I don't even fucking know. That's a
I
lie
don't know.
too.
It's hard. I mean, I never debated saying it, but I can see the argument against it. Like, I get it.
Trevor would never want to talk about the Easter Bunny. I'm like, how are you okay with talking about Santa, but not the Easter Bunny? He's like, because a fucking man-sized Easter Bunny in your backyard is ridiculous. At least Santa is like attainable. I'm like, no, it's not. No, motherfucker, bitch can like go down a chimney and like fit his ass down there and get to all the homes. I'm like, that is not more realistic. All of it's kind of fucked.
I remember when I found out about the Tooth Fairy, but I didn't put together that like the Easter Bunny and Santa wasn't really there. But I think I wanted to believe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I know that you guys are like in the elf thing, but I hate that fucking thing. I hate the fucking elf. And
so
whoever came up with
it
needs to.
Here's my feeling on it all. I feel like kids are kids for a very short period of time.
I know you're trying to make it all special all the time, but we're like dying in the process.
No, I get it. But like kids are kids for only a short period of time. I think magic in kids like exists in a way. And like, it's the one time that they don't question everything. Like eventually they're going to be so negative about things and question everything. And it's just a time for them to be magical. And I feel like no one's been ruined by it. I've never heard someone in therapy be like, well, my parents lied to me about Santa, so now I'm fucked.
Yeah,
like,
but they don't have, you're right. But maybe there's some correlation to learning you can't like trust even your parents sometimes.
Maybe.
Somewhere back there.
It might get deeper.
Deep down in there.
It's very simple, and I think you can easily have a conversation like as they get older, which
just be like, I was trying to make it fun for you.
It was fun. It was magical. Now you get to be a part of the magic.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like, it's like I said, it's something unique to childhood. There's not many things
but why wasn't Santa enough? Why did we have to add the elf?
I don't know why the elf happened, but my kids are obsessed with it. And
no, I know. Mine are too. And I had to finally get it. And you know who I feel bad for is it's like everyone that has like a phone by a certain age and some family can't afford it or whatever, and they don't. And everyone's sitting there at the bus stop. I see it. There's always one kid that has their hands in their pocket just sitting there because they don't have a phone. And all the other middle schoolers are on their phone. Like they can't even stand there for 2 seconds without being on their phone. And same thing with the elf. They all talk about it. And that's exactly why we got one. It's because my kids came home when they're like, why don't we have one?
Yeah, well, what about like the Switch Witch now?
What's that?
It's on Halloween. It started with a good cause. I think it started with people who had kids who had allergies. So what you would do is you'd bag up all the candy after you went trick-or-treating and you leave it at your front doorstep. And then the Switch Witch comes around and she grabs the candy and takes it back and she gives you a toy instead. So like the theory I understand, but the thing is all these people are doing the Switch Witch now. And it's like, it's another thing. It's another thing.
Why are we doing this to ourselves?
I don't know. But
I
on the
can't keep
on
up.
the same thing, I say that, but then I also love taking the month of December to do fun magical things because I'm like,
yeah, but why can't fun magical things be like old school, like making some cookies? We have our annual gingerbread.
Well, that's what I do. I do a lot of
like crafting and like the little window art shit and like decorating. Why couldn't that have been enough?
I don't know. I do an activity advent calendar.
I have that shit too. I feel like that came out of nowhere. I didn't have no fucking advent calendar.
So
now I have to think of something for the month of December and hide my elf and do cookies and do crafts and all the gifts.
Did the advent calendar with the chocolates. And I was just like, this is stupid. And then we started doing the activity one, but we would have done we would have done the activities anyway. I did the activities anyway. So for me, it's just making it where it's like in the morning they get to like read what we're going to do. That's all it is. We would have done it anyway. We always bake the cookies anyway. We did the holiday light show anyway. I put the Christmas parade on there. We would have went to that anyway. Walk through lights, hot cocoa and movie night. Smart.
But it's still one more thing to do at the end of the night. Like I'm already drowning with like.
I'm done. My list is made. I have every day
planned out. You're organized.
Do you want my list?
Yeah, please send it. Can you send it out? Can you put a link?
Yes.
Let's put a link with a free printout.
And then I just write it on a piece of paper and I shove it in there.
That's good because I feel like I have to stuff little toys and candies and shit like that in there. Okay, so it's just all.
I only do a piece of paper.
I will say when my kids get messages, like they'll be like, when I write them something in their lunchbox, and let's say I run out for like a week or I hadn't been doing it, they're like, "Mom, where's that note?" Like,
yeah,
they do love the little
notes,
and it helps
like
them
one of
read
them. I'm going to do a yes day, and that's going to be part of their Christmas present.
Dana, I can't with the yes day. Like I can't. I tried. No, I've tried like 2 times to do a yes day. These bitches want to like spend like a lot of money. Like they want to do a water park. Bowling alley, this and this and that all in one day. I'm like, I can't do that.
Well, you didn't set a limit then. The yes day has to have the yes day can't
When
just
did
be
the yes day have a
day.
limit? Like, okay, so what are the limits? What are the boundaries here? What does a yes day entail?
Like,
so I can be on board
probably
here.
will do where they can only spend X amount of dollars. Like, we're not going over, I don't know, whatever it is, $100 for the day. Once you go at that limit, then everything else has to be free.
Okay.
And like, no, I'm not bringing home an animal.
I know I was going to say there's
they'd be like, let's go to the
things.
pet store.
Yeah. Okay.
But anything else, like whatever they want to do, if they want to go for a bike ride with me, if they want to go on a walk, if they want to go to, you know, they want to do my makeup and my hair, like they love doing
those
that
all
shit.
sound great, but then my kids come up with crazier shit, and I'm like, how do I say no
I
on the yes day? And then I'm like a big fat disappointment. So, all right, I'll think about it.
You know what's fun? We did one time. I feel like your kids would like it. They like this kind of stuff. We did color day. So like we each picked a color, and we had to only eat that color food for the whole day.
Oh, I remember you telling me this.
And they loved it. Like one of us got purple, the other one got green, the other one got, and we like had to eat that food color for the whole day.
It's all fine and dandy, but you don't sleep. Like, I feel like you get this shit done because she does. She stays up and she's like, I just stayed up till 2 a.m. I was like working on this.
Not always, once in a while.
And I was doing Lily's birthday party and whatever. I had worked the night before, so I didn't get sleep the night. I'm like, I don't know if I can function on like thin line like that. But I know what you're saying. Time is limited. This is why like I get inspired by you.
Time's limited.
Until they want crazy shit when they're like a high school or a middle school.
But it won't take time.
Well, maybe.
Well, that's why we have to get a sugar daddy.
Someone comment and tell us the best sugar daddy apps and what exactly you have to do. Like, do you have to like...
I know, I'm not trying to like put out porn. Like, I mean...
But what we have to like, what does that mean? Like, I don't mind like wiggling my toes in like greasy
I'll like
food
shove them in grapes or something.
Yeah, something like that. Or like even facial features or humiliation's big. Like telling someone like they've got a small dick or something.
I don't know if I could do that seriously with my face. Like I think I'd be dying laughing.
You could. Yes, you can.
You
it's
could
acting.
definitely do it. I think I would die. I'd be like, this is the funniest thing ever.
They like that. The more you laugh, the better. Sign Dana up for humiliation because she will just laugh at you. Most people for the humiliation thing like is they just want you to be like laughing at them because I think somewhere in like it could just be their kink.
Okay, what?
But
what
might
would
have
be
happened.
Your limit? What wouldn't you do for money?
I don't know.
Would you? Well, do you remember me telling you about the strippers that do the anal ring toss?
Oh right. Only because I don't. What if the stick got like jammed or something?
I know.
Like no, I couldn't do that. But I think it's not that I need money that much, but I also don't put a heavy like thing on like sex or sexual acts. Like to me, it's not that bad. It's just your body and we're just doing something like, or the act that I'm doing is just doing something with my body.
See, I feel like what would stop me would be the kids ever being embarrassed. But
then again,
think that you should go after this because you don't have much level of embarrassment.
I don't have much level, but I don't know. I'm like
why are you not doing anything?
Because that's what the 20-year-olds are for.
There is someone for everyone. You are a hot 40-year-old.
It could be because
put up a MILF thing. People love that.
I also teach young children at a dance studio. That is actually the only reason. I'm not even embarrassed for my kids because I own it. I have a stripper pole in my house, which we call a fun pole, a fitness pole,
which is
party
on my
pole.
daughter's Christmas list this year. She would like a party
They
pole.
love it. Every kid that comes through the door likes to whip around. They have no idea it means like a stripper pole because let me tell you, if you've seen some of the people that do the crazy shit on the pole, like they're fucking athletes.
Oh, yeah.
They're amazing and it's an art and it's beautiful. And so I stand by that. I stand by things that I think people think are like, I don't know, bad, somehow looked or frowned upon in society. I want to break all those things. I feel like it's part of like my mission. So yeah, if I want to do something, a sexual act for money, I don't feel it's selling myself or like, I don't know.
Well, that's actually literally what it is.
Selling myself short. I was going to say, or be degrading, or that's what I guess I meant. It's not degrading to me. It's a service. Just like you go get your nails done, just like I watch your dogs. If someone wants to pay me to do something, I can do it. Where it happens is that like OnlyFans is a lot of fucking work. And I can barely I can't even create the art I want to create.
And I don't know if it's true, but like really only the top 1% is making good money.
Not only that, I would have to like market myself. And where I have a problem is I don't want to see the other like dance moms seeing that I'm trying to sell myself in a sexual way. How am I supposed to be
when I'm rolling up in my freaking
how am I supposed to be a mentor or someone to look up to if they have issues that, and I get it. Like, while I'm also teaching my children, like, be whoever you want to be.
It's hard. There's a fine line.
There's a fine line.
Yeah.
Like, I also don't want these little kids who are young. They're not adults to make decisions. And I don't want them to be influenced by my actions. And I have people that follow my art page, and I do, it's not sexy things, but I have a sexual energy. Yes. And it's flirty and cutesy and stuff like that. And even then I have a hard time like posting that, because I think, some of the older dancers are going to see that. And I don't want them to think, what do I not want them to think? I don't know. I think what I put on my art page is great. I don't think there's anything wrong of putting myself out there, and I kind of can't help who I am.
Yeah, I think kids have to learn that there's going to be multiple people that go in multiple directions, and it doesn't mean you have to follow them.
Well, that too, but I also think like just because if I'm sending out sort of like a sexual energy or vibe, because that's like who I am when I'm creating art, I'm just kind of like va-va-voom-ish, then there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
How is that even bad?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think we're getting better as a society, but I think for a while, I mean, think about it. It was like, I mean, people would blame people who would get, like, what were you wearing? Like, what are you putting out in the world that would make a man, like, it's like so.
I'll wear what I want to wear, like what makes me feel good, and if other people like it, cool.
Yeah.
And do I show skin? Yeah. But that's because I'm comfortable with that. Yeah. I've been like raised that way to be comfortable in my body, and it's just a body. Like, and I think about our bodies like.
Are you okay with your kids wearing anything? That's a good topic. Yeah. Are you okay with her like going to like out to dinner and wearing a crop top?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that. Because my parents gave me that. Aren't.
I know. Oh, I know their rules and stuff. And I listen. You have to do what you have to do. I'm not rolling your eyes at that. I'm more like, my parents gave me the freedom to wear whatever I wanted, and they're strict. My mom's a Catholic. My dad's a Baptist. Like, they were like religious, like, and strict about things, like my curfews and things like that. I was always the one that had to be home first, and obviously about anything else, but they always let me wear what I wanted to wear, and they let me wear whatever makeup I wanted to wear. And I will say to this day that helped me express myself and be a small reason of the artist and the way I'm expressive now. And so when I see Freya put herself together, like sometimes she has this crazy ass eyeshadow on, and she's got this crazy snaggle tooth right now because it's ready to come out, and she's got like, she looked like homeless the other day. Like, she had like crazy leggings and an oversized like shirt that someone handed down to her, and socks that didn't match, and shoes that didn't go, and her hair was crazy. She had like a bow in there, and she looked like on a wacky day. Yeah. Like when you dress your up for wacky day. That's what she wore. But I'm like, go on, girl. Yeah. Like, go on.
I know.
She picks it all herself.
I tend to interfere a little bit. Like,
I don't. I want to. Like, I'll come down and I'll be like, ooh, those pants are short.
I interfere in the sense, and it's probably not a great thing, but like I'll say stuff like, oh, like, I'm just trying to, I guess my mom used to do it.
I know.
Not in a bad way. Yeah. Like in a way of like, that looks great, but like, this matches really well. And like kind of giving me, because like kids don't like know how to like style it.
But they do. Because what's style? Style is art, and it's your interpretation of what comes together. Because what I'm trying to say is that like when she was like last year, she'd come out, I'd be like, oh no. I'm like, it is hot outside. Why are you wearing like a sweater and pants? Yeah. And like
natural consequence, they'll learn.
Yeah, I'm like, but they're gonna learn. And same thing, it's freezing outside. She's like, no, I'm not gonna be cold. I'm like, okay, you wear the flip flops and have your toes freeze off, whatever it is. And or she'll come down and like she had some crazy outfit on and be like, oh, and Char would be like, Mom, she took a long time to put herself together. Doesn't she look cute? And I'm like, huh. You look great, And so I had to go through some of that, and now I literally let her wear whatever she wears, and she's getting better, and I think it's fucking cute. I think it's cute.
She's gonna be wearing things.
She's gonna be an expressive person through that, and I think that's a great way to express yourself. I don't think there should be any reason why. You can't help how someone's gonna look at you, and make the difference between if someone is a nasty person and they're looking at your child, they're going to look at them regardless if it's a crop top or they're in a dress that you picked out 100%. From Lily Pulitzer or whatever the fuck.
Absolutely.
They're all bows and shit. Like, they're going to be eyeing them
if someone's
anyways.
A creep, they're going to be a creep. Yeah, for sure.
So
I just, what was I going to say? No, I was going to say that, well, two things. Yeah, that's a whole nother circumstance.
Yeah. And I know there's all levels of it and stuff.
Like, for sure.
There's many different perspectives and, of that view, but.
That's actually my fear with like social media stuff.
Oh, I know. Like, I don't have an account or anything.
Like it's creeps.
But here's the thing too, is that like, so we don't set them up for Instagram for their dance accounts, but they're on our Facebook. They're everywhere anyways. They're on my Instagram. So if they're going to snatch a picture for nastiness, it's already out there.
It is to a point. I think it's different. I think it's very different. There are like child accounts that are just children. Like they know that if they follow that account, like it's going to be just this one girl. There's this one girl.
Yeah, but those child accounts, you know that the parents are managing it. Like, you know.
Yeah, but it's still all pictures of just the kid. So like.
But can't they just come on my Instagram account?
Is it
screenshot
public?
that picture? Yeah.
Oh.
I think so. My Facebook one is.
My
but even if
Facebook's
it's not,
private.
you could befriend anybody and just.
I wouldn't add him.
No, but I mean, you could pretend to be someone, or I think there's. It's
like
out there.
Facebook,
It's out there. It's out there.
It is out there. Although, like,
even
I
if
posted
you
today, where's my MySpace pictures at? Because I can't find them, and everyone says everything on the internet's forever.
Well, not forever. I think I want to know where MySpace is too, because I'm like mortified now that there's anything that I'd be willing to do, all the other sugar daddy shit. But if I'm going to be mortified by anything, it's those MySpace pictures.
Totally.
Of like me taking
I have one of
shots
me
and
in
stuff.
underwear and a tank top and holding a Jack Daniels bottle with like terrible extensions in, because my friend took it. So we were like joking around and doing ones of like, I was like kind of making fun of her. But like, yeah. Like.
Wait, did you ever get into Tumblr?
No.
I did. That was like my sexual outlet. Like I'd put like pictures of girls like, you know, kind of like this and like like blood would be coming down or something.
Yeah,
it's like my dark sexual fantasy.
No,
like
but
outlet.
that was even in MySpace. Like there was a time where like that dark emo-y like look was in. Like I wanted the black hair with the big side bangs and then bright makeup and
I want to be emo now.
I have one of me like smoking a clove and I'm like have like blue eyeshadow on. Like it's ridiculous.
I want to smoke a clove right now, although they're kind of gross, right?
They are kind of gross.
You're like,
who
smokes anymore?
I know. Well, people vape now.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's not good for you, but
yeah, I think it's really bad for you.
I think it is too. But like, do you care when you're young? Kind of want one.
You want one right now?
Yeah, I kind of miss it. I kind of miss it. I mean, I do and I don't. I think there's been time when I've with my friends that actually do smoke, that like when I'm drunk or something, I'm like, let me have a drag, and then I'm like, it's like an ashtray.
Who was just saying that to us? They were like, whenever I drink, I smoke, like still to this day. But like they never smoked in their life, which was the funniest part. They only smoke when they drink.
No, it's
meanwhile for me, it's the opposite. If I smoke a cigarette when I'm drunk, I am going to be dizzy and vomit.
No, it's gross. I definitely felt like something. I guess it was like the nicotine or something. I was like, ooh,
yeah.
Whoa, I kind of feel like
nauseous.
nauseous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
But that was like,
sorry to the smokers out there, but
people were saying that they were like that was the theory of like why millennials like look fairly good for their age is because we were like the first generation that stopped smoking and we didn't have vapes yet.
Oh.
So like definitely there was smoking involved for sure, but like
instead there was cocaine, but
maybe that was the secret.
Ecstasy.
Maybe that was the secret. That's the fountain of youth.
Was ecstasy big? Like I feel like meth was big.
Meth?
Yeah. Not that I didn't do any meth or anything, but like I feel like there was friends of mine that were younger and that was going around in their school. That was like more popular. Like
I feel like that was like, I don't know. I feel like that was viewed trashy almost.
It is. But
I mean, yes, it is.
You're
trashy.
one of those people that tried all those drugs and stuff. Like that's something I didn't do. Like in my time, I feel like heroin was going around.
Heroin was big for me too.
Crack and heroin.
Not me, but like heroin.
Like, I know, like my boyfriend's dad, like did all that.
Yeah,
like that was around.
I don't know anyone who did meth. Like, not even the drug addicts. Like, I don't know anyone who did meth.
Do you think meth is worse than crack? Is it the same thing?
No, I think it's different.
And then like heroin, like who does meth, crack, or heroin these days? Like,
I don't know. I think people definitely viewed coke as like classy, which is like so funny because it's still like a drug.
Yeah.
But then I feel like people viewed like heroin and meth and crack as like not classy.
Yeah. Well, absolutely.
You know,
so then what about like
crack
Molly and ecstasy though? Like,
yeah, that was like
those
raves
kind of,
and like party and
yeah. I want to do those. I think.
Yeah. So I mean, you have the opportunity, I'm sure.
But I don't like know who to call.
I don't know either.
Who do I get a hold of? I just want to do it like once a year. Once a year, I want to go to some like really cool rave and do that. But I don't want to be so messed up that like I feel like shit the next day, because you know that feeling the next day you're like, I'm a big fat druggie or something the next day. Like, all your serotonin or whatever is like.
He worked with someone once that did a once a year drug binge, and it was like
I want a drug binge. I just want an experience.
But it wasn't. It was like I think it was crack. I think it was. I'm almost positive this guy did like
That's
a
baller,
once a year
actually.
like freebase and crack, and then he'd never do it again. And it was only like during Christmas time.
It's kind of interesting because. Okay, so you're looking for the experiences. If you only did it once, and apparently it's crazy. It's almost like ayahuasca. What if you find your like higher self through
Crack?
That? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Who's to say no one's done it and come out on the other side?
Crack like just coke smoked?
I heard that crack is like a million dicks coming all at the same time, like when you take a hit. That's what someone described it to me. Or heroin. I can't remember.
So I do remember he said something like he had to sit on a toilet when he do it because everything just released.
Like a purge. But that's what ayahuasca does. I haven't done it and I want to do it, but I'm scared
I don't
want
to shit myself.
Oh, but you vomit and you shit.
No.
They have like bathrooms and stuff and people help you. I'm telling
people are helping me shit?
They hold your hand or they guide you to it.
I appreciate that. I don't think I want to do that.
Please do ayahuasca with me.
I don't want to shit myself.
You're not going to shit yourself.
I almost shit myself yesterday.
You're not out of it so bad that you're going to shit yourself.
You just said I'm going to shit myself and someone's going to hold my hand.
It's like, have you ever done ecstasy? Don't you remember like feeling like
that's not what you just described.
Of like throw up.
No.
You never threw up?
I mean, I've thrown up plenty of times. Like drunk throw up, this throw up,
so why is it okay that you could drunk throw up but not throw up from ecstasy or crack?
My goal, so I wouldn't drink if every time I drank, I was going to throw up, I wouldn't drink probably.
Yeah, but this is like once every year type experience. Okay. Like you just accept.
All right, listen, maybe I'll try ayahuasca, whatever that is. If you RV with me.
I will, but I'm not RVing.
We can RV and do ayahuasca.
Who's watching our kids then?
The husbands are gonna have to do it.
We're like gonna get in the RV like all fucked up and drive away and like into like a mountain or something.
No. We're gonna be in the mountains.
Yeah, and then they're gonna be dance. Like, why is mom throwing up and
no one's
and
gonna
trying
be
to talk to the leaves? I'm like look at their faces. I'm like, is that you?
Oh my God.
No, but I do think we should do ayahuasca. I've heard great things. I do think that like or was it? There's also like
what is it? Do you smoke it? Do you eat it?
I think you drink
I don't even know what it is.
Like
you drink it?
Big concoction that they brew up. I don't know.
Is it like who makes it?
It's like comes from a plant. I have no idea. Someone help us. Someone
comment. You need to know more about it if you want to do it.
All I know is that it's helped people like find the meaning of life or like any trauma that you've ever had or even shit that you didn't even know that you stuffed down in there. It rises and you overcome it.
Trauma that I didn't have.
That's what I'm scared of, but it will.
I have a very strong imagination. I could come out of it and be like fucked up.
You won't be fucked up. I think you'll come up, but then you'll like find a way to like heal it. What if I don't? You will. You'll come back to reality and you'll be like, oh shit, I guess I've got some work to do.
Okay.
I've heard great things. I guess comment if you've had bad experiences and you're fucked after ayahuasca after that. Like you just can't get back to normal.
Like, you know, the people who like did like PCP like back in the 80s and then they were never normal again.
What's PCP?
I think it's like a hallucinogenic. I don't know
exactly.
Okay,
so Trevor and I watched this like guy on YouTube, I think. I forgot his name. Do you want to tell me the guy's name that does all those drugs and he like trips and trips and trips and you take more and more and more and more and every single person that's done it has met the other people like in another world and dimension.
Oh my God, that's what you want.
Yes.
I don't want to meet other people, Julie.
I do.
I don't.
I want the
I want to stay in my dimension.
I don't. What's wrong with me? It's not that I'm not happy, but I feel like a pull. Like I'm supposed to be doing that.
Well, I think that's great. Come
with me to meet the little people,
Dana.
I
want to meet these people.
Dana, they're little people. They're
okay,
like,
I'm going to tell you
they said they're like robot
quick.
people. Like maybe they're creating our reality. You want to meet them.
But I think that there's a point where you find out too much and then you're like.
Then you can't enjoy this reality.
Yeah, like you're gone.
Well, I'm a little nervous about that, I will say.
Because like.
I already feel like.
I'm open to the idea of it. I believe that there's other things and all that stuff, right? But I almost feel like maybe we're supposed to be a little naive to it. Like, can our brains truly handle knowing
then why
everything?
Would these drugs be available for us to get down that rabbit hole and experience it?
Why is meth available? Like
we're supposed to stay in our third dimensional like plane and Earth, and why do we have all these ways to get out? Like
I don't know,
zoom out or whatever.
I don't know.
We're doing ayahuasca.
All right, listen. I have. I want to tell you a crazy story, but it's not about that. It's actually more like spiritual mediumship stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so I was just watching this girl on TikTok, and I actually really believe her. Like John was like, "Do you believe?" I was like, "No." She like was so. I can't describe. Maybe it wasn't real, but she was so real. It felt so real. So anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's this woman, and she tells this story, and she said that she was sitting in her. She moved into this house with her. It was her and her 3-year-old, and the house was like weird stuff always happened. Specifically, like all the cabinets would always be open. and there would always be puddles on the floor. And
Ew.
like there was nothing coming out. It was like a puddle of water, but there was
Gross.
nowhere, right? So she was like super freaked out.
It was like a portal.
Well, listen, so she was considering moving. She was super freaked out. So then she, one day she's sitting and she said she has sliding glass doors right in front of her couch. She's sitting there and you could see the reflection like behind you. And there's a hallway behind her. And she sees this like, what she thinks is this like teenage boy come behind her.
I just got chills.
I know. And his head shaved and he's wearing a baggy t-shirt and tight overalls. And she's like, the image was ingrained in my mind. Like I will never forget it. Like it was so clear as day. And with that, she went to turn around and her daughter comes running out of her room screaming, "Mommy, mommy, my sister's coming." And she was like, "What do you mean your sister's coming?" And then she looked and there was no one behind her. So 3 weeks later, she finds out she's pregnant with a little girl. So she's like, oh my God, like she knew her sister was coming. That's so freaky, you know, but like kids say that stuff all the time. So the stuff keeps happening. They're like really freaked out. She ends up finding out that, she ends up having the baby and everything stops. No more puddles, no more cabinets, no more people, like everything stops. So they go on.
It's like an indigo baby or something.
Yeah. So they go on with their life, whatever. Everything's great and dandy. She meets this guy. She ends up wanting to marry him. They're going to move out of the house to his house. And she said, my daughter had this scarf and I hated this scarf. Like she was like, I couldn't put my finger on it, but like I hated this scarf. Like I wanted to throw it out. I absolutely hated it. So anyway, she goes, we're about to move. We're packing up. And I tell my daughter, I'm going to run out and get pizzas for us. And her daughter was like, fine, I'm going to stay home. Like, you go do that. And her daughter was kind of pissed off about them moving, whatever.
Okay.
So she comes home and she sees all the cabinets are open. She's like, what is happening? Oh, wait, I forgot a really important part of the story. Okay. Sorry. So back up. Her daughter was born, the second daughter. Yeah. And she tells her at 3 years old, Mommy, I used to come and visit you and put puddles on the floor and open all the cabinets. And she was like, what? That was you? And she was like, yeah. And she stuck with that story until she was 17. Like, I used to come here. I used to screw with you guys. Like that was me. Like I was in this spiritual world and I used to open all the cabinets.
I keep getting cold chills.
I know. Like, so now she goes to get pizza. She leaves her daughter at home. She comes home. Cabinets are opening. There's a puddle she steps in. She's like, what is going on? She walks into the bathroom and she's looking for something and she sees her daughter standing on the tub. And she's like, what are you doing? And then she puts it all together for a second and she was like, oh my God, she's not alive anymore. And she looks and her daughter like unalived herself. I don't know if I could say like that kind of thing. With the scarf she hated. Always hated. And that's why all the cabinets were open and the puddle was there because she was gone again. And she was like visiting them again. Isn't that freaky?
I'm like, I don't like words.
And she said, she was like, so I don't know what it means. I've been trying to like figure it out. Oh, and then she said her daughter, she's looking through pictures that people are posting of her daughter after like, you know, like the goodbye posts and stuff. Yeah. And she sees a picture of her daughter, her head shaved. She's wearing a baggy t-shirt and she has the tight overalls. And she's like, that's who I saw in the reflection. So she like saw her daughter as a teenager before her daughter was even born. Do you think
like, it's almost like time's an illusion too. Like it's all warped like dimensionally.
That's what someone said. They were like, there was so many comments like it's, I forget what they called it, but it was like a whole like thing where you come in and out of time and like she was coming in and out of time and it just, she wasn't meant to be in this time for long.
When people pass away, that to me, in and of itself, I think our society also handles it poorly as well. Like, I know that I would be, I don't even know if I could live if my kids.
I can't even like think about it,
but
to be honest.
I wish that we handled it better. Like, I wish that, I believe that we have an infinite amount of like lifetimes. Like this isn't it. Like when we go, like it's just like a revolving like energy. Like you come, you know, here, blah, blah. So I just wish that we were able to handle like the ending of life. Like it's a celebration, like that we were ever able to come and that we were ever able to have time with people because we're here and there's no guarantee that you wake up tomorrow. I just feel like we're humans
with emotions and it's so hard. It's like the same way you talk about like not feeling jealousy. Like it's a great concept, but it's so hard to actually practice, right? Like you miss someone
but
so
think
hard.
About if the program
was different.
If we were born into this world and people celebrated life when someone passed, like old civilizations, there was like big celebrations. And it wasn't like, because think about how many people are fucked because their mom died young or their children you know, is no longer. And while you'll still feel the feelings of missing that person, I wonder if it would be less if we came in as kids, like, we don't know when we have, so just be like, be with your people, but like when we leave, like it's a celebration of life type thing. I just wish that was better instead of this like funerals, wear black. It's the end. You're never seeing that person again. Like I always tell my kids, I'm like, I won't be around forever. Dad won't be around together. You have to take care of each other. And I said, but I will always be there, just not in physical form. Like I will always be there. Like you'll feel my totally presence. And let's whenever you see beautiful flowers or like cool art, you'll think of me and things. Like I want to keep letting them know that like I don't want them to be shocked. Like if I get hit in a car wreck, I know that they're gonna be whatever, but I keep trying to like add in that fluff like that. Yeah. Don't let it ruin your life type thing. Like it is a part of life. It's inevitable, and I feel like no one acknowledges it. Like we don't ever try to prep our kids or anything. I'm constantly
saying that we could die tomorrow. I am acknowleding the shit out of it. That's why we have to do everything we want to do.
I feel like a lot of people sweep things under the rug. They don't like educate their kids about the fact that like none of us know if we're going to wake up tomorrow.
You don't.
We just kind of truck along like everything's great, but it is.
Which is what makes me so like mind fucked when I think about caring about things so intensely. Because I'm like we're so stressed about such minute things in life.
Yes. Like our secret Santas.
Right. And it's like in reality, like it doesn't matter.
None of it matters.
Doesn't matter.
None of it matters.
It's like a weird
None of it matters, and that's why you're coming to do ayahuasca with me. So if you're fucked forever after that, at least you did something because none of it matters. Time's an illusion.
I don't want to be fucked for 30 years though, like
who's to say after ayahuasca you're coming back?
I might die.
Exactly. You can get in the car when we leave and we're done with this and die.
It's true. No, it's true.
But at least you'll have had an experience.
I'm all about the experiences.
Ayahuasca will give you that experience.
My mind is the one thing that freaks me out.
Of course.
It always has. Like I was never into I was always nervous about like hallucinogenic type of drugs and stuff.
Me too. People that are just like, I just took whatever, and I was like fucked for like 2 days. I'm like,
no.
How can you why? Yeah. Like, isn't life, I'm like, you need to do a hobby. Like, isn't life trippy enough? Like I feel like I'm tripping from the moment I wake up till I go to bed. It's like bam, 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 bam,
Did
bam,
you just
bam,
see
bam,
that
bam,
video
bam,
of
bam,
the guy on at Disney in It's a Small World? You know that super weird, trippy, weird ride?
Yeah.
Well, this guy was totally messed up, and he like got off of the ride and starts walking through all the characters, and he gets naked, and all these kids are just staring at him, and he was like so like just. Like he's just like no one's around. Like he's in his own world in this place. It was so funny.
I would not freaking take acid or whatever it is and go to Disney. There's like kids around. Like I can't even do that if I have a gummy. If I have like a gummy, like a regular, the legal whatever they are, CBD, not even Delta 9 or whatever gummy, I'm always like, are people looking at me? Am I talking too much? Am I talking too little? And I'm like, do I look messed up? And that's just with Delta 9, like a quarter gummy. That's not even like, hi, I'm going to take big time drugs and go on a small world in front of kids and people. Like, I don't think I could do that.
And get butt ass naked.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because you don't know what you're doing, I think.
Right.
But people swear by the microdosing.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't know anything about that. Someone should comment on that.
Like mushrooms?
Yeah. I've done mushrooms.
I don't know what he was on. I don't think it was microdosing shit. I think he was on some heavy duty stuff. Maybe it was the meth. Heavy duty stuff.
But how funny, okay, so talk about like someone's like purpose or whatever. Like that day he did that and was it on TikTok that you saw it?
It was everywhere. The news, TikTok, like everywhere.
It gave us humans something to talk about, look at, be entertained, and be like, I wouldn't do it.
Look at that airport girl.
What airport
The
girl?
one who was like on the plane and she was like, that motherfucker's not real.
I feel bad for her in a way. I know this is so controversial, but like, I think what she did, obviously, I mean, I have no idea. I love how people want to comment when they weren't her and they weren't physically
there.
were
like, yeah, she saw this or whatever. She got on an interview recently and said she saw nothing. She was pissed off at some guy or something like that.
Right. But let's say she
something.
Wasn't pissed off and she was somebody that like could see.
Right.
Past what us mere humans could see. Like, I don't doubt anybody's gifts, like the psychic stuff. Like, and what we see in front of us is not what's really there. Like, I think there's other things there.
See, I can't do ayahuasca with you. You're going to make me think nothing's real.
It isn't.
I know, but then I'm going to be all messed up.
No, this is how you have to see
it. This is how you have to see it. You're not jumping. I can fly.
I'll hold you. I'm going to get that thing.
That would be my idea.
The thing where it attaches to my wrist and your wrist. And a leash. A leash. You won't jump off any cliff. But now I forgot what I was saying, but like, About the real thing.
Nothing's real. I don't know.
Nothing's real. Oh, that this is okay. You just have to imagine that Dana and your family and this world and the that we live in, like it's a little playground, and you get to go on the slide or the swing set or whatever. You get to do whatever you want on your playground, but it's not real. But you can do whatever you want, so you might as well play.
Well, it's like your reality.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that everyone has their reality, their universe, like their. And so everything else is separate, and we pull in the people we want and not want.
So why are we doing any of this? This is all stupid then. This is not the playground I want to play on. Get me off.
It's not? Well, then change it.
I'm trying.
Get an RV.
I know.
Ayahuasca.
I mean, I just feel like, yeah, I mean, I don't know that I want to be at like a dance competition every weekend and like in the car on pickup line for an hour and a half.
How do we get sucked in though? We clearly want it in
I mean, I want it. Yes. I shouldn't say I don't want it.
I was going to say, we do love seeing our children happy.
I love seeing them happy.
They love doing it.
Yes. I love seeing them happy. And I think there's so many pros that come with all that stuff. Like
it
builds them up and builds them up. But if you start bringing me down the path of like, none of this matters and none of this is real, I am already, without any drugs, going down it of like, what are we doing? Sell everything. Let's get out of here. What are we doing? Like,
yeah, because we're here to be humans. And I guess part of that being a human is being part of like society, and in that society, how are you going to play on your playground? Yeah, it's not that complicated.
I think that's why people went to religion so much.
Yeah,
like I think religion's going to be phased out soon in many, not everywhere, but I think it's starting to phase out already, obviously. And I think people went to religion for that reason, is they wanted like these answers and they wanted something bigger to believe in, and they wanted like to know that death wasn't finite.
Right. I like that word, finite.
Finite.
Can we use it every week? Can we have like a word of the week?
A word of the week.
I'm so bad, you guys, with like vocabulary and grammar and all
like,
that.
If nothing matters, like I don't want to go to work. I want to drink margaritas.
No. I mean, yes. I think I've told this to Trevor before. Like, if nothing matters,
the world stops.
Well, people are like, well, then I'm going to just do all the drugs in the world and not work and sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I'm like, you wouldn't though. You would do that for like, and I know people would be like, I would. You wouldn't. After like a good solid month of partying your ass off, you do wake up and say,
yeah, you want some routine and structure.
You're like, that was fun, but like, I'm bored of that now.
Yeah. So
like the shock value, the newness. I'm always in things for the experience. Like I want to try everything new because everyone has addictive personalities, right? But I'm addicted to new experiences. It could be a flaw, or it could just be because I'm curious. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got off on that, but like, do you feel the same way as like a human being that you
I definitely want many different
But
lives.
like the spiritual people would say, you don't need anything. You just need nothing, and you can be like all like in the
There's
trees.
No way.
And I could do that, but I'm also
Not
too curious. It's like I knew I was put in this like avatar human body to go experience what it's like to be human and like to do just that. And I want to do all the hard human things.
Yeah.
Not everyone does though.
They
just want to do it like everyone else does it. Like this person down the street and that house and that house and that house. They all have a car, a house, possibly children, at least marriage, and a 9-to-5 or some sort of job. It's like everyone's the same. I'm so bored with everyone being the same.
Yeah.
That's why I like you.
Thanks.
You want to do cool
I like
things.
you too. No, I definitely want to live many different lives, and that's where I struggle because I want this mom, house, car, job, neighborhood life.
Yeah.
I think there's really fun things about that.
Yeah, sure.
But then I
and
also
there's like
want to do
stability
this,
and foundation and structure with the kids and stuff.
But then I also want to do this whole like travel, homeschool, wild, like
road
trippy, different life.
But I wonder how much of that is that wrapped up in also our identity. Like I don't want to, like when I end, I don't want to look back and be like, oh, I was wrapped up in this identity that I was going to be like a mom and an artist and I had my kids and they did this and it's also like tiki. Or if we do the wild thing, homeschool IV, I don't want to be wrapped in this identity that I couldn't be like anybody else. So I needed to do it
But
this
that's
way
what I'm saying. I want to live multiple lives. Like I wish like every 3 years I could be something else.
Well, I think we need to teach our kids that we can. Like I remember one time when I was struggling between whether I wanted to go to school for psychology, dance major, or marketing. And the yoga instructor I was going to at the time, she goes, well, why can't you do all of them? And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, why do you have to pick one for the rest of your life? No one's ever told me that.
Yeah.
I was in my 20s. I know this is changing because I'm older now. Like people are more entrepreneur and they're smarter and they're doing things.
We're definitely going in that direction.
Yeah, we're going in that
society.
direction. But I'm definitely like teaching my kids. Like I'm not talking about all the time like what college you want to go to and major. I'm not bringing those things up. I'm more like what interests you right now? Because like I did that. I did dance for a little bit and then I went back. I went to school for marketing. I got that major. Fun fact, I didn't really do anything with my marketing degree. Ding, ding, ding.
You know how many people go to college and just have loans and they didn't do anything
And guess
with it?
what? I'm a dance instructor. So if I had been a dance major, would have helped me? No, I still get to do what I love to do without my dance major degree. Like I still get to do because I had all those years of training. And then as far as psychology, well, guess what? I do that with you all the time. We talk about people, things, whatever. I didn't need to get like a degree in it.
No.
So like, I think like you don't have to set yourself up. I think every 2 years, every 3 years, reevaluate.
Yeah, I definitely won't tell my kids they have to go to college.
Me either.
I think there's so many options.
And
we need so many different things. We need trade. We need people who go into trade. We need people who go to college. We need people who.
And I think the people that want to go to college will. They want to. They're like, I want to be
I'm not saying I devalue. I value education.
Me too. I'm not saying
you have to go in that route.
I just don't want. I feel like it all starts with conversations that you're having with them.
Like, I also like don't get the concept of picking what you want to do for your whole life when you're 18. Like that's really hard.
Me too. I'm 42 and I don't know who I am. Do you know who you am?
No.
You am. Do you know who you are? Do you know who you am? I feel like
no.
I went through that.
I mean,
in my late 30s, I did a lot of self-healing. I had like spiritual coaches. I meditated. I did all the right things. I ate well, slept right. And I went out of that phase of having to like drink a lot and stuff. I was like, I definitely went out but now that I've done that, now I'm in a new like section of life where I'm still holding on to that old way. Like, oh, I do all the right things. And I'm like back to who am I again? I never thought I'd feel that way.
I always are going to go back and forth with that because every decade, I think you change so much too.
You do, but you don't know because you're living with yourself every day, though. You don't even know that that's happening. You just wake up one day and you're like, oh yeah, like I don't do that anymore. Like now I like read a book at bedtime. Like I don't sit there.
It just happens.
Like, or I used to be someone that didn't want structure routine. Well, guess what? Every morning I sort of have a structure and routine.
I know for a fact that like my 40s is going to be a lot of self-finding because
well, your kids are young.
Right. And like, so I feel like I did a lot in high school and college and then I was pregnant and I never had my 20s really. I never had my 20s without I think that's why I also struggle with like getting older. I'm like, oh my God, I'm turning 34 next month. Like that's crazy. Like that feels so old to me. But I think it's just because I didn't really have my 20s to myself.
Yeah, that's definitely one view is like where you felt like you missed out on like a young adulthood where I am the opposite. I did all that I ever needed to do. All my friends got married and had kids in their 20s and I waited till I was in my 30s. So, but I still feel the same way. I still feel like even though I got all those experiences, you almost grieve. I like grieve the person I was as an individual then. Yeah. Like it was fun.
Well, I think you grieve everything. I think you grieve who you were before kids. I think you grieve who you are. I'm even in a state of grieving, like, are we done having kids? Like, that's a whole grieving era too. Like, I will never have another baby in me. I will never
I got something in the mail that was an ornament that it was like, you're going to be a daddy, Merry Christmas, Benito or something. And I showed Trevor, I was like, we're pregnant. He's like, what? And I played a really bad prank. So for Thanksgiving, my parents and his parents, I'm like, open up our present thing. And they like looked at it and they're like, it was because it's a sonogram baby picture.
Oh my God,
on a
Julie.
glass ornament. I know, not a bad trick. Like they could tell because they know Trevor has had a vasectomy. So they're like,
it's someone else's.
And I finally I couldn't hold it long enough. I'm like, I'm just joking. Someone sent me like the wrong ornament. But I was going to be a surrogate for someone. So my mom was like, that was the first thing I thought. And his poor mom was thinking, are you like pregnant? And then
they really went with the open marriage.
And I'm like, fuck no, I'm not having kids anymore. Like I am done. But it did make me look at Trevor a day later. I go, I kind of miss those uh-ohs. The uh-oh that we're going to have another
It's that
life.
Exciting of like you're bringing another life into the world.
Right. Why do us humans need constant excitement? The Buddha would probably say like we're wrong for needing that.
Probably. But yeah, like that's a grieving process. And then I'm going to grieve again when my kids are older and they're gone. Like I think there's a few, but like there's also pros.
You'll get like a puppy or something.
No, there's also pros with it. I mean, I was just at my aunt's house and she has 4 kids and her youngest is now 17 and we went there and I'm used to her house being chaotic. She has 4 kids, you know? And it was quiet and me and John looked at her and we were like, it's so quiet in here. She's like, it's always quiet in here. And his parents very much are still in a grieving process. They they loved having kids in the house and I think they've always been that way and they always have been sad there's not kids in the house. So I said to her, because that's my biggest fear is I don't want to feel sad ever. I hate that idea of like feeling sadness like that deep sadness that you always have.
You'll be involved and
yeah, but she was like, I love it. Like I love the quiet. Like I love when they come over, but like it's nice. Like I have like a whole new routine
I look forward to my life with Trevor.
Yeah.
Like I obviously am going to die. Like I already know I'm dying inside thinking about my kids getting older. Every time I look at them, I pick them up and they're long now and they're bigger. And like, sometimes I'll just cry looking at Trevor. I'm like, I don't want them to grow up anymore. I look at my kids and I'm like, I want you to stay little for them. But I also look forward to time with Trevor. Like
it's the
really
unknown,
do.
I think, of what the next part of our life brings. It's very like unknown. We're very much in it.
Wait. We have to end with. Wait, we have to end with. Wait, can you do this?
No, I'm not. I can't go over it behind my head.
Let's see it, Dana.
I can't. All the way behind my head? I mean, no, I don't think I could do that. I could go really close to my body.
You look like a baby when they
first
come
our
out.
sign off?
And they're all folded up. Yeah. All right, that's our sign off.
Thanks for watching. If you're a sugar daddy, contact us ASAP. Me. Thanks for listening. Make sure to follow and subscribe so you can tune in next week.